Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready to take a deep dive into what makes a solopreneur tick?
We've got a treasure trove of insights here, from marketing masterminds to psychology pros. Think of it as your crash course in entrepreneurial success.
Yeah, we're talking turning your passions into profits, your skills into a thriving business, all solo. And we're drawing inspiration from the best got content creation as a business model right here. Reminds me of those online empires like James Altucher, Tim Ferriss. They proved it's possible.
Absolutely. And the beautiful thing is, you don't need some groundbreaking invention. .com Secrets, this one right here, talks about building your value ladder.
Value ladder. Okay, I like the sound of that already.
It's brilliant, really. You start small, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could be a free ebook, then maybe a paid webinar series. Eventually, you're offering one-on-one coaching. Each step builds on the last, proves your expertise.
So it's like that classic marketing funnel, but fine-tuned for us solopreneurs.
Exactly.
And this reminds me of something I read in Pasted Text, too. They're big on diversifying your income streams. But here's the catch. They say only diversify once that core offer is solid. Don't want to spread yourself too thin too early.
Spot on. Imagine a successful restaurant. They wouldn't launch with a 50-page menu, right? They start with a few signature dishes, perfect those, build a following, then maybe they think about adding that wild fusion taco.
First, you got to solidify what you're known for. Own that niche. Okay, so say I've got this killer offering. How do I get it out there in this digital jungle? They ask, you answer. That seems like a good starting point.
It's all about becoming a trusted resource. Think about it. You're way more likely to buy from someone who's already helped you, right? So create valuable content, blog posts, videos, whatever your jam is, answer those questions your audience is dying to know the answers to, and they'll keep coming back for more.
So it's less about the hard sell, more about solving problems before they even ask. I'm liking this approach.
It's about building relationships, trust.
Which brings to mind contagious, right? Word of mouth marketing's still huge E. I mean, they said a whopping 93% of recommendations happen offline. So how do we as solopreneurs tap into that?
You've got to be remarkable. That's what Purple Cow is all about.
Yeah.
Imagine a field full of cows, all brown, then bam, a purple cow. Now that's memorable.
Okay, I'm loving this purple cow analogy.
It's about making your brand stand out. You want people to see your work and be like, whoa, have you heard of? Something they can't help but tell their friends about.
So it's not just about what you sell, it's that feeling, that experience you're creating around it. Like, this is so good, you have to try it, word of mouth on fire.
And that's where building a story brand comes in.
Oh, yeah, I've heard good things about that one.
It's about crafting a brand story, like a movie trailer that hooks people in. Your customer, they're the hero of their own story.
Yeah.
Your offering, that's the key to overcoming their challenges, achieving their goals.
And the 22 immutable laws of marketing, one of my favorites, hits us with that golden nugget. Own a word in the customer's mind. So powerful.
Right. What's that one word you want them to associate with you? Safety. People think Volvo, overnight delivery, boom, FedEx. It's about owning that space in their minds.
Becoming synonymous with the solution.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You say online courses, they instantly think of your name because you've claimed that territory. But to really nail that, we've got to understand the psychology behind why people buy, not just what they buy. And that's a whole other fascinating layer, right?
Okay, now we're getting into the nitty-gritty. Hit me with those psychological insights.
All right, so Brainfluence dives deep into this. Did you know that simply using a baby photo in your marketing can grab people's attention like nothing else?
Wait, babies? What's the deal with that? I mean, yeah, they're cute, but what's the subconscious marketing magic happening there?
It's instinct. Our brains are hardwired to zero in on those adorable faces. It's evolutionary. Marketers, they've caught on to this.
Fascinating.
And it's not about being manipulative. It's about understanding those deep-seated drivers of human behavior.
So we're talking about tapping into those subconscious desires that influence our decisions. Okay, what else have these psychology gurus uncovered?
Well, think about those limited time offers you see everywhere. That's predictably irrational in action, specifically the power of scarcity. We tend to put a higher value on things we think are rare, exclusive.
Makes sense. Like those concert tickets that are almost sold out suddenly, I have to have them.
Exactly. We're hardwired to jump on a deal, especially if we think we might miss out.
FOMO is real.
And then there's the endowment effect. Ever have that old t-shirt, you know you never wear it, but you can't bear to part with it?
Oh, totally.
That's the endowment effect. We value things we own more, even if they're basically the same as something we don't own.
It's like that emotional attachment we form. Okay, so Marketers are using these little quirks of our brains to their advantage. This is getting interesting.
It's all about influence, right? We've got the why people buy down, but what about the how of actually making the sale?
Yeah, how do we seal the deal?
That's where the sales advantage and spin selling come in clutch. They give us a framework for really getting inside the customer's head. What are their needs, their pain points?
It's like asking the right questions to lead them to the solution, which just happens to be your product or service.
Exactly. Consultative selling. You're not just selling, you're advising. The sales advantage, it emphasizes the power of communication, something Dale Carnegie always talked about.
It's not just about what you say, it's how you say it. Building rapport, that genuine connection. People buy from people they like, trust, authenticity, I think that's key.
100%. Be genuine, be interested in their challenges, and show them you're passionate about helping them overcome those challenges with what you offer.
I like it. So we've covered a lot of ground here, picking the right business model, marketing like a pro, even diving into the psychology of sales. But what about building a business that's more than just a job, one that lights you up inside?
Ah, now you're talking. This is where we move beyond just the mechanics and tap into the soul of solopreneurship, the $100 startup and the E-Myth revisited. Those are my go-tos for this.
The $100 startup, love that one. Proof you don't need a fancy MBA or a ton of cash to start something amazing.
Right. You need passion, a good idea, and that fire in your belly to solve a problem.
And that problem doesn't have to be complicated, right? Sometimes the simplest ideas are the best ones. But it's about taking action, right? You can't just dream it, you got to do it.
Action is everything. And that's where the E-Myth revisited is pure gold. It pushes you to think bigger than just being good at what you do.
So thinking like an entrepreneur, not just someone who's good at, say, web design or writing or whatever their zone of genius is.
Exactly. It's about building a business that can run without you constantly having to micromanage every tiny detail.
Creating a system, a machine that works, even when you're not there pushing every button.
You got it. It's about designing your ideal workday, your ideal life.
No, that is a game changer. But it's not just about the systems, right? It's about the heart of the business, the why behind it all.
You hit the nail on the head. Both delivering happiness and start with why, they really emphasize aligning your business with what you truly value. It's about walking the walk, creating a company culture, a brand that really reflects your values. Customers, they pick up on that authenticity.
It's like they can sense it, that genuine passion. But the business world, it's always changing. How do we as solopreneurs stay true to ourselves while navigating all that change?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Blitzscaling and the long tail, they offer a peek into the future of entrepreneurship. Can feel a little overwhelming, but also exciting.
Blitzscaling, okay, that sounds intense. What's that all about?
Imagine you're riding a wave, right? A massive wave. It's about achieving that rapid growth, especially in our digital age. But, like surfing, it's about control. You don't want to just wipe out. You're strategically riding that wave, managing those growth spurts.
Okay, controlled chaos. I can get behind that. The long tail, though, that sounds more my speed, honestly. What's the deal with that one?
Think about that awesome little bakery down the street, always packed. They've found their niche, right? The long tail says, imagine that bakery reaching baking enthusiasts around the world with an online shop. Suddenly, there are no limits.
Wow, okay, I see where you're going with this. It's like they're not just limited to whoever walks by their storefront anymore, right? They can connect with their people, their tribe, no matter where they are.
Exactly. And for solopreneurs, that's huge. You don't have to be everything to everyone. You can be laser focused on serving a specific audience with specific needs. You can create something truly special that way.
It's about quality over quantity, passion over mass appeal. I love it. But even when you found that perfect niche, crafted that incredible offering, there's still that hurdle of actually convincing people to buy it. How do we get inside their heads a little bit? Ethically, of course.
Now you're talking my language. Let's dive into the psychology of persuasion. No Jedi mind tricks here, I promise. But Brainfluence, Predictably Irrational, these books, they reveal some really fascinating ways to make your marketing more effective.
Okay, lay it on me. What kind of secrets are we talking about?
Well, Brainfluence, for example, it points out how much our brains rely on shortcuts to make decisions. We think we're being all logical, but a lot of times it's our subconscious really calling the shots. Social proof, for instance.
Social proof, like testimonial.
Exactly. We're way more likely to do something if we see other people doing it, especially if there's someone we admire, someone we trust.
Wait, this course changed my life, and I'm thinking, sign me up. Okay, that makes so much sense. What else?
Self-scarcity, that's another big one. Predictably irrational, it explains this. We put a higher value on things that feel scarce, exclusive, those limited time offers, the products that are almost sold out,
Oh, yeah, the get it before it's gone tactic. It works.
because it taps into that fear of missing out, right?
FOMO is real.
Exactly. So we're using these psychological insights ethically, of course, to make our offering irresistible.
Okay, so we've piqued their interest, but what about the actual message, the words we use? How do we craft something that resonates, that makes them take action?
Ah, now you're talking about the art of storytelling. They ask, you answer. Building a store brand, these are your secret weapons. They ask, you answer is all about becoming that go-to expert, the one who answers their burning questions before they even have to ask.
It's about being helpful, not salesy, right? Give, give, give. Then the asking feels natural.
Exactly. Building a story brand, it takes it to the next level. It teaches you how to craft a narrative, like a compelling movie. Your customer, they're the hero, obviously, and your offering. That's the key to overcoming those challenges, achieving their goals.
I love that. Like those classic heroes' journeys, right? They resonate with us for a reason. The struggles, the triumphs, we see ourselves in those stories.
Right. And we could use those same principles in our businesses to connect with our audience on that deeper level.
So how do we actually do that? Create a brand story that doesn't just grab their attention, but motivates them to take action.
Empathy. Start with empathy. What keeps your ideal customer up at night? What are their deepest desires? Their biggest fears? When you understand those, you can position your brand as the guide, the mentor that helps them overcome those obstacles and achieve what they want most.
Become a part of their success story.
Exactly. It's about creating that genuine connection, not just a transaction, but something more meaningful.
Building a community, a tribe of people who believe in what you're doing, love it. But even with the best story, the greatest product, there are going to be those moments of self-doubt, right? Those times when you wonder if this whole solopreneurship thing is really for you.
Oh, absolutely. Those doubts, those are totally normal. Part of the journey. The $100 startup, I go back to that one a lot. It's full of inspiring stories. Everyday people who turned simple ideas into successful businesses. They started small, hustled hard, and let their passion lead the way.
It's that reminder you don't need $1 million idea or a ton of funding to get started. Sometimes the simplest ideas are the best. But you have to actually do something about it, right?
Action is key.
Yeah.
Action is everything, and that's where the E-Myth Revisited comes in. It's about making that shift, going from a technician mindset where you're just focused on doing the work to an entrepreneur mindset where you're building something bigger, something that can thrive even when you're not the one doing all the work.
So working on the business, not just in it. Creating something sustainable that can grow with you. That makes a lot of sense. But honestly, it sounds kind of scary too, right? Building those systems, letting go of a little control, especially when it's your baby, your passion project.
Oh, for sure. It's not always easy,
Mm-hmm.
but that's where trust comes in. Trusting the process, leaning on the wisdom of those who've been there, done that.
Finding those mentors, those communities, the resources that can support you along the way.
Absolutely. And these books, they're like having a whole team of mentors right at your fingertips.
Like a whole bookshelf of entrepreneurial wisdom. And speaking of wisdom, something that really stuck with me from the long tail is how it flips the script on success. As solopreneurs, we don't need to appeal to everyone. It's about finding your tribe, those people who truly resonate with what you do, even if they're scattered all over the world.
Absolutely. You don't need to be the next Amazon or Apple. You just need to be the best at what you do for the people who love it. It's like finding that hidden gem of a bookstore, you know, the one with that curated selection that's speaking directly to your soul.
It's like they've handpicked every book just for you, even if you didn't know you were looking for it. So how do we make sure we're reaching those people, those perfect fit customers who are out there searching for exactly what we offer?
That's where all that marketing magic comes in. Remember, owning a word in the customer's mind. That's from the 22 Immutable Laws of Marketing. It's about being so crystal clear on what makes you unique, that purple cow factor, that when someone needs what you offer, your name is the first one that pops into their head.
It's like becoming synonymous with the solution. You're the Google of your niche.
Exactly. But even with all the marketing genius in the world, it really comes down to having a product or service that truly delivers. You can't fake authenticity, right?
You can't build a sustainable business on hype alone.
Exactly. And delivering happiness, that one's a great reminder that real success comes from creating something that not only solves a problem, but also brings joy, adds value to people's lives. It's about that good feeling people get when they use your product or service.
It's about turning customers into raving fans, the kind of people who tell everyone they know about you.
Exactly. And that passion, that drive to create something exceptional, that's what sets the successful solopreneurs apart.
It's about playing the long game, building something you're proud of, something that makes a real difference.
And, we've talked a lot about strategies and tactics, but the thing is, solopreneurship is a journey. It's a marathon, not a sprint. There are going to be ups and downs, moments of doubt, maybe even a few sleepless nights. But that's where the real growth happens.
It's about embracing the challenges, learning from the stumbles along the way, and never losing sight of that initial spark, that vision that got you started in the first place.
Exactly. And as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with this. You are not alone. There's a whole community of solopreneurs out there, all navigating their own unique journeys. So connect with each other, share your experiences, support each other's wins.
I love that. It's about lifting each other up, sharing those valuable resources, and reminding each other that even when those doubts creep in, that spark, that entrepreneurial fire, it's still burning bright.
That spark is what it's all about.
And that wraps up our deep dive into the world of solopreneurship. We covered a ton today, from finding your niche to crafting a brand story that truly sings, to understanding the minds of your customers. But most importantly, I hope you're walking away feeling inspired, ready to take that next step on your own amazing journey.
The world is waiting to see what you create. Don't be afraid to go after it.
Keep learning, keep growing, keep creating, and we'll be here to cheer you on every step of the way. Until next time, keep chasing those entrepreneurial dreams.